So in this online tutorial, I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can use Dexscreener to screen meme coins. And this is going to be something that I think you actually need to do in 2025 if you're going to be, trading meme coins, because this is the platform that most people don't fully have an understanding of. And this is something that I spend hours on every day. So I can truly tell you guys I know the ins and out of this platform. So right now, basically, when you come to dexscreener.com, you are going to be greeted with this screen. There is just so much that most people don't know. So let's dive in. So basically, all of these coins that you see right here, so all of these coins right here, this just basically shows you coins that are trending. Okay, so this is the trending tab, and initially when you come onto the platform, it will have a 6-hour box tick. So that is what you will initially see. Now, it won't always be that. Sometimes it might be, something else, but initially that is what you will see. So of course, what you can do is you can, of course, change these filters. It's a very simple thing. Sometimes you can see right here that the age of these, you can see right here that these are all different times. So we have things that are 3 days old. We got things of 1 day, all of these are different time frames. So if you're someone that, maybe you're trying to screen for new coins, of course, what you can actually do is you can go to the new pairs tab. Now, I wouldn't advise this for beginners, but this is just showing you guys how you can actually change the age. Now, another thing that people do is actually click these buttons right here, so you can actually see which of the newest tokens are actually now trending. Now, this doesn't mean that you want to go ahead and immediately invest into this token. Sometimes that does work, but that's, of course, not a very good strategy. There's a bit of things I'm going to talk about later in the video. But you can see here that now we've managed to organize these tokens as they've come out. And of course, this also, doesn't allow you to filter for scams, because trust me, guys, there are a lot of scams on Dexscreener, and it's going to be something that's really important to you as well. Now, another thing that I would say that you definitely need to do as well is I think most people by now are probably trading on Solana. And what I've seen a lot of beginners do that is probably just a genuine mistake is when you're on this platform, you don't actually filter what you're watching. So for example, like I said, when you come on this page, this is what you're going to see. But most people don't realize that these coins, not all of them are Solana meme coins. And that's because this page actually houses all of these tokens right here. So you can see right here, it houses, coins on Base, coins on BSC, coins on Sui. And if you're just trading on a specific platform, you ideally just want to be using that platform. So basically, what you want to do is you want to see this filters area right here. Just go ahead and we're going to click filters. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click all platforms. And then for us, because we actually trade Solana meme coins, we're going to click Solana. Of course, if you trade Ethereum meme coins and Solana, you can just click both of those. If you trade Base, Ethereum, BSC, you can just click 4. You can see how many different chains there are. There are so many. But I would say, for now, this video, let's just keep it on Solana. And we click save, and then let's just click apply. And then now you can see that the only tokens that we're going to get are the ones that are actually on the Solana branch. So that is very important for those of you guys who are trying to buy these coins, because sometimes you'll see that, there's coins there and you'll see 2 coins, and it's really annoying to see coins that are on different chains. And I see so many people, I'm like, why are you browsing on Dexscreener and you have Ethereum and Sui tokens there? So that is going to be a quick tip for beginners that you need to know, because it's really, really useful. Now, another thing as well that I would say is that you might be, not seeing the full range and scope of coins. And that's because some of these tokens actually have a small icon right next to them. So you might not know what this is, but this is actually, a thing that people can actually buy. So this is what you call a Dexscreener boost, which means that these tokens, okay, have actually paid a certain amount of money in order to get their tokens to be on the home page. So for example, let's say I was to, remove all these filters. I was to reset all the filters, and I was just supposed to, I reset these to the age right here. You can see right here that we have a token that has 20,000 boosts, okay? Now, what that means is they've paid a significant amount of money in boost to get this coin higher on the visibility. And that's important because sometimes you'll jump on here and the first tokens you'll see are the ones that you might consider buying. But most people don't realize that these tokens with this orange text that you guys can see right here, these are going to be the ones that are really boosted. And thus, of course, they have more people that are going to be seeing them. Now, this sometimes does help because essentially when tokens do get boosted, what it does mean is that people are putting a significant amount of money behind them. And that means that potentially people are suspecting the price to rise. After all, if you're going to spend money on promoting a coin, it's quite likely you're looking for that coin to rise so you can potentially make a profit. And this is something, like I said before, most people don't realize. You can see that the majority of coins here are boosted, which means that these coins have someone who's paid money for them. Now, if you want to see which tokens are boosted, you can click this right here and you can see all the tokens that are currently boosted. And this is going to basically give you which tokens are currently being boosted through extra money on them. And this is a useful tool to see, okay, which projects that maybe let's actually go to the new as well. We can be like, okay, which new boosted products actually have money behind them. But I would say a quick tip to avoid meme coin scams is that what you will see sometimes, and not always, is that you'll see that they have low volume and low tokens, but they'll put some boost behind them and they'll try to get people to buy into the scam projects, and then they will rinse and repeat. So always try and understand if you see low tokens, low makers, low volume, that is quite likely a scam that you do need to avoid. Another underrated tab that I'm going to show you guys in a moment, and most people really don't talk about this, and as we're going to kind of do want to know about this, is the advertising tab. And that just basically means people are running long-term ads. Now, this is something that, like I said before, most people don't realize it, but basically long-term projects, they will invest in advertising spend over a longer period of time because they want the project to continually go up. So for example, let's say I click the official American meme. What you will see is you will see some tokens at the top. And like I said before, if your token is boosted or has ads, that's where it will appear. And sometimes the token will appear right in this box at the bottom right-hand corner. So you can see right here, this is going to be something that a lot of beginners do see. And you can see that these ads, okay, are things that other coins that are, I guess you could say, you know, people putting money behind them. So this is of course something that you want to know if you ever look around at that. So now that we've, you know, understood exactly what's on the front page, it's time for us to actually dive into viewing a chart, analyzing a project, and seeing exactly what's going on. So let's say I decided to click this coin. Hopefully this isn't a scam token. I do think this is a scam token just because of the price right there. And this is a scam token in the sense that all of these prices do look the same. This isn't kind of the point of the video, but if you see that all of the purchases are the same, so you can see all of these are 0.001 and all of those purchases were around $200, you're often going to be basically seeing a farm project, and that happens from time to time and time again. So if you ever see this 00001, there are sophisticated bots that are essentially buying and selling this, you know, project, and essentially once they get enough people to, you know, legitimate buyers to buy into their project, you will see a red candle like you've never seen before, and you'll just see price decline in a crazy way. So all of these transactions are fake transactions, by the way, and that's why I'm able to actually avoid scams. And as a beginner, okay, even as someone that's comprehensive, I haven't seen, you know, friends sometimes actually manage to buy into these tokens. So you can see right here that it's just going straight up. Not saying that charts don't go straight up, but if you ever see 0.001 or you ever just see just $250 trades, it means that it is completely false and fraudulent. So we can now actually click off that token, go back to the main screen and find a different coin. So for example, let's say we wanted to find another coin. Okay, let's say we wanted to find a coin that was already doing well. Honestly, right now, it's probably the worst time to be searching for these tokens, but let's go ahead and click this token, Justice for Zach XBT. So this is essentially an interesting project, but what I want to do here is I want to actually explain to you all how you can use this to gain, you know, really competitive insights. So when you immediately click any coin, the first thing that you might not notice is that this will be automatically ticked. This is the 24-hour tab, and essentially what that means is that you are looking at the data here from the past 24 hours. So when it tells you the buys and the sells, that's the data for the past 24 hours. And oftentimes in meme coins, that's going to be the entirety of the coin. Now, usually that isn't that useful. It is sometimes useful, but sometimes it isn't that useful because you ideally want to see the 5M, which just means the past 5 minutes. So what we can see here is now the data from the past 5 minutes. And sometimes if the volume going down, which is essentially just the amount of, you know, coins being bought and sold over a specific amount of time, if that is, you know, going down and going lower, then of course this is going to be something that you might want to skimp out on in terms of your purchase. So basically what this actually means right here, so basically the market cap of a coin, let me just bring out my whiteboard to explain to you. So let's say for example, and yes, the screen just went black right there, but let's say for example, if a coin cost $10, so we got $10 here, and let me just make sure this sticks. So let's say we got a coin that costs $10, and then now let's say there are 10,000, or in fact, let's just do normal. Let's just say there are 1,000 of those coins in circulation. The market cap of that coin would be $10,000. Okay, so that is basically how that works, and this helps you understand the size of the coin. So market cap is something that people use to gauge how many people have invested in the coin and how much further that coin is going to go. So this is something that is really important when judging your entries, because ideally you don't want to be buying a coin too high, but you also don't want to be buying a project too low. So this is a project that you can see has gone all the way up to a 90 million market cap, which is a substantial amount, but it's something that you can use to see where the price is relative to others. $100. Now, right here on the right-hand side, you can also see the price. You can also see the liquidity, which is, a really important metric, because the liquidity, I think most people don't realize what this is and how this actually impacts the price. So the liquidity here is really important because this basically tells you what people can actually sell, and you ideally want the project to be very, very liquid. If the project has very low liquidity, it means that people cannot cash out of their tokens. So let's say, for example, I had $1 million in this coin called Justice for Zach XBT. If the liquidity is at $700,000, it means I won't actually be able to exit my position for $1 million because of the liquidity. And the liquidity is basically how many buyers are available to buy. And this is basically, close to the current price. And it's basically, if everyone was to sell, what you could get for your USD. So if we go down to the holders right here, so if you click this right here and you click the holders, you can see that some people, okay, have around 300,000, and you can see all of these tokens combined have significantly more than the allocated liquidity. Now, I don't want to say that this is a particular problem, but if all these people start selling, you have to understand that these values, okay, like their portfolio values, are going to go down as well as the liquidity, guys. So this is something that you do want to watch out as well, because a lot of people think, okay, I can exit my position. It's not like Bitcoin. A lot of these meme coins, you won't be able to exit your entire position. So if liquidity is lower than your balance, like maybe you're a whale of the project, you actually can't exit your balance for that amount. You'd actually have to wait for more liquidity to join, and then you'd be able to exit. So that is something that is really important. Now, once again, when you're on this area, another thing that is really useful when viewing the meme coins is that you can actually go ahead and you can click the website right here. So this is useful for various different projects, because what it allows you to do is it allows you to quickly research a coin. So on this one, it only has a website, and there was actually a lot more information on Twitter. But what I'm telling you guys right now is that, let's say, for example, we wanted to browse and find another coin. Let's say, for example, make.ai. Usually, okay, make.ai is probably not the best example. Let's go back to another example. If we can find something where they actually will have a Twitter, a Telegram. Okay, so this is the kind of project that, we're talking about right here. And this is not financial advice to buy this project or whatever. No video is financial advice. But anyways, that's beside the point. The point I'm trying to make, guys, is that usually there will be 3 links here. Now, honestly, some people will tell you that if they don't have a website, a Dexscreener, or a Telegram, or like a website, then that is a very red flag. But I would argue against this. You have to do it on a case-by-case basis. Usually, if they don't have that, it is a scam. But sometimes you will actually go over to a website, like you'll click into the website, and the website's buttons won't even work. So it's really important for you guys to completely understand that, look, just because a website has a Twitter, a Telegram, and all that stuff, it doesn't mean that the project won't go bust. And oftentimes, projects that are going to go viral don't have a website because they're just based on, recent speculation. And that means that you haven't had time to create that kind of project. So for example, with this one right here, you can see that they have a Telegram. This is basically the button that you click in order to join the Telegram. So for example, right here, you can join the Telegram. And I have to, emphasize, when you do join these Telegrams, you need to be very, very careful, because some of them will tell you to, download a QR code or do this or do that. But what oftentimes people will do is they'll, try to continue to Telegram. Then they'll just click cancel right here, and they'll see how many members are in the actual Telegram. Now, me personally, I've realized that these scammers are starting to get more and more sophisticated. So this number right here, sometimes you'll click it and you'll say, okay, they've got around 100 to 200 Telegram users. The project is not a scam. Sometimes they will have like 900 Telegram users, but the project will have like a 30K market cap. Those are coins that you probably want to avoid. And also avoid coins of like a 2 to 3 member Telegram, or like less than 10, because it just means that no one is really there in that Telegram, and it was literally just created for the sake of creating it. Now, in addition, of course, you do have the Twitter page. So oftentimes, if you click the Twitter, you're going to be able to see exactly what they've been tweeting. And that just basically links you to that. And of course, this links you to the website. And my quick tip for anyone is basically click the website, go over to the website, and basically you ideally want to see if those buttons work. So basically, I know it sounds ridiculous, but trust me when I say, most scam projects, you can, view the website, but a lot of the links won't simply work. So for example, on this website, I'm probably thinking that this works. So yeah, this does work, but this refused to connect. I'm not sure why. The product doesn't have any liquidity anyways. But the point is that if you're trying to do quick research and you go on the website and the buttons, like you click some of them and they don't work, just immediately don't even take a second and look at that project. Now, another tip that I want to provide you guys with is this tip right here. And this has been the most useful thing for me that I don't understand why people do. Sometimes people won't realize that this box right here is ticks, and it's pretty weird. So essentially what you'll see is some people will have this in the actual price of the asset. And that is very strange, because this is pretty hard to track. Like you can say, did you buy it 3 cents or 2 cents? But most people, for most coins, if you're a beginner, you need to change this value right here. So change this from price over to market cap so you can actually keep track of the market cap at all times. And it's going to be something that's remarkably useful because sometimes right here, this doesn't update very quickly. Like I promise you guys now, if I were to find a completely volatile project, you'll see that the market cap right here doesn't match the actual market cap from the project right here. So that is something that I think you should probably be paying attention to. So as well as that, what you can also do as well is with these coins, another thing that people do not do is, let's say, for example, I don't know what coin I'm going to find. This one is already at $1 billion market cap. I'm actually trying to find something really quickly so I can illustrate why people do this. Let's go. Okay, it says send this lime. It's pretty funny. Let's go ahead. I don't know if this is a scam. It kind of looks like a scam. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is that a lot of people also don't adjust their time frames. So if you're a beginner, you might see the time frame be like this and you might be thinking, whoa, the price just went up and it went down. But you actually need to switch this. So in the top left, you guys can see right here, just change that. And basically you can change that to 1M. And that basically just means 1 minute. And that's basically going to show you exactly how every bar is. So every bar right here is a 1 minute time frame. And you can see right here that this is basically how the project works. So in terms of the price, this is kind of what you want to do with meme coins because this is going to give you the most up-to-date information. 1 second is too much information. You really won't be able to process what's going on, especially if a whale buys into the project and sends it flying. You'll just completely miss it. For example, if you click 1S, it just looks completely jagged and you really won't be able to gauge a good picture. 1M is really good. 5M is good for longer term projects because, of course, you can see this project is just created. And right now, it just looks like that, which is, it doesn't give you much information. So for most projects, I would stick on the 1M. Of course, for very large projects, maybe you could stick on a 4-hourly time frame. For example, let's say, for example, this Zach XBT one. I wouldn't say this one you want to use a 4-hourly chart because it hasn't been, around for that long. And you can see that the data just isn't there. But if you go on the 5 minute, it's pretty useful. But if you go on the 1 minute, it's probably the most useful chart because, these bars give you the most data. So that is something as well that people don't realize. Now, another thing that you do want to do on Dexscreener is you do want to use these bars at the bottom right here. So right here, you can see transaction, top traders, snipers, and holders. So for example, the top traders, it basically just shows you who managed to profit most from this token. And honestly, unfortunately, with some projects, and I'm not claiming these developers of doing this, but oftentimes if people hadn't bought in and hadn't sold a lot, what you will see is you will see accounts that have just made a lot of amounts. So these accounts haven't bought any tokens, but these were probably, people that were in on the project and they've essentially over time, they've just been selling to the wider market. So these are accounts right here that you can see they haven't bought in any, but they've just sold. And these ones that have no initial transactions, it's probably quite likely that's how much the project made. So with that being said, you also have other individuals that are actually good at trading. And for example, this guy right here, you can see he bought 21,000 worth of tokens. Then he sold it for 34,000 for a profit of 13,000. Now, this is something that people can do. This person bought it for $1,000, sold it for, $10,000, $12,000. So it's definitely something that I don't want to say the average person can do, but it does show you what has been possible on these coins. And it's something that is a useful metric to gauging how much people have made already. Now, of course, you've got other things like the transactions, that's pretty normal. You've got other things like the holders. This is really useful because with the holders here, you can see how much people are holding, if they're holding too much, if these guys are going to sell off all their tokens. For this one, it is a bit deceiving because what I think has happened here is that these wallets right here that are the initial holders of the wallet, these ones probably aren't going to sell. What some developers will do, and I know, you probably shouldn't be looking at this if you're a beginner, but what they will do is they will essentially buy up all of the, initial supply so that people can wreck the price and they can control the price more consistently. But that is something for another day. Of course, liquidity providers, that is just, showing the burn liquidity. And for bubble maps, this basically just, tries to give you a gauge on whether or not the project is bundled. So if a project is bundled, it usually will come up with, a specific color, and then they'll be connected. These bubbles will all be connected, and you'll see that the project is basically being held by a developer in other wallets. And it means that likely they're going to sell that project as well. But this isn't really the platform where you really want to check for rugs, but it is something that you do need to do, because if you see bubbles and you go on here and you see a bunch of connected bubbles, then avoid that project. So now we're going to get onto some more interesting stuff, because like I said before, a lot of people don't take advantage of Dexscreener completely, and they don't really realize a lot of the stuff they're missing out on. So when we go on to the homepage right here, I spoke about filters in the beginning, but there are more advanced filters that you can do if you are someone who is looking for more, more gains. Okay. So basically what you can do is you can go to your filters, you can go to all platforms, you can go to Solana, then you can click save. And with this, what I will say to you is that it is completely up to you, the filters that you can choose. There are going to be some basic ones based on the kind of things that you want. So let's say, for example, me, I'm looking at a very, quick market cap. I can put this on 6 hours because I want to see coins that are raising, very quickly. And let's say I want to see the max market cap. I want to see it's 500K. And then I'm going to say the minimum market cap. I want to see it's probably around 60K. And another thing that I do like to do as well, what I've seen, from many different projects is that for the liquidity, is I actually do want to up this a bit. So I do want to put this above 20,000 because usually that just avoids all of these scams. Trust me, some scams have like $10 billion of liquidity, but so many scams have like 1,000 or whatever. So you basically just want to put that minimum on at 20,000. And then with this, all of the stuff here is just way too specific. Of course, there's specific stuff, but you don't really want to miss too much. And this is supposed to be actually 60,000 and 500,000. So this is where, you can find some low cap gems. Of course, maybe we could even do, let's say 3 hours here, if you want to get really aggressive. And now we can actually scour through all the tokens that are coming up through that area. So right here as well, you can see that these tokens, it's just got 7 tokens. It's just got 2. Those are tokens that we avoid. So we don't really want to care about those. We ideally want to see sizes and plays that have a decent amount of volume. So right here, we can see the volume is 4.2 million. That's going to be something we want to check out. Right here, the volume is 599K. That's going to be something we want to check out. If we keep looking down, we can see, okay, this one has $1 million worth of volume. That's going to be something we want to check out as well. So there's millions and millions of different ways that you can actually organize this. But the filters I just gave you right there are going to be some really simple ones. Now, remember, guys, there are scams, and these scams can appear here, and it, unfortunately will pass through your filters just because there are so many different tokens with so many different variables. It's not possible to get out all of the scams, but this will help you definitely. So for example, we can see this coin right here. It says safe coin protocol redefining, security on the blockchain. Will I invest in this token? Maybe not, because I see all of these buys and sells are exactly the same. So this is quite like what I saw earlier, $200, the 0.01 purchases here, definitely going to avoid this because for me, it doesn't make sense. Of course, always check the Twitter and stuff like that, but you definitely do have to be careful. Now, one of the features that I actually do like about this is that you can actually add coins to your watch list. So let's say, for example, this coin right here, I was thinking, okay, this is the coin that I really want to, pay attention to. In fact, that coin's about to nuke and just, scam into existence. Let me actually find a better coin. But let's say that previous coin, okay? So when you actually, search, usually you'll have a history of coins that you've searched before. But let's say we wanted to go to this Zach XBT coin. I'm actually not sure why it just disappeared right there, but let's just click it now. So basically what you can do is you can actually set alerts, and this is super useful for those of you guys that don't have time to watch the price. So let's say, you just bought a coin, you're thinking, okay, I kind of want to ape into this coin. There's actually this, thing right here called alert. So basically, if you click alert, you can see you can actually enable notifications. So you just want to click allow right here. So I'm going to click allow. And then of course, basically you can, alert you when the price goes over a certain value. So for example, we can see, market cap, like I said before, the market cap is something that you do want to have. And, let's say, for example, I want to see if the market cap goes over a 20 mil market cap because I've just bought. So I'm going to put 20 with 8 zeros. I'm going to call this one Zach 20 market cap is back. Okay. And this basically gives me an alert that the project is going over. So I'm going to get a little notification now on my desktop. Okay. Or if I actually have the app installed on my phone, I'll actually get a push notification. It sends it out to my phone. And that way I can see if a project has done a certain level. Now, also what you can do is you can now set, okay, is this going to be bearish? So let's do for the Zach XBT. If it goes under a $15 million market cap, then this is going to be a project that I can sell. So I can create that alert and I could be put Zach, sell alert. Okay. And this is something that's really useful. So for example, for the market cap right here, you can see alert me when the Zach, market cap goes under 15 mil market cap. And that's going to basically pop up. And it's going to be like, look, you need to sell this token immediately. This is something that most people don't utilize in the right ways. Now, what I would say to actually take advantage of this is that you might want to use this on your day-to-day basis, but the way how I would actually use this is that you want to find tokens that just simply haven't pumped at all. Okay, so you can see right here, the project is actually going down. Maybe in a second, we're going to get some notifications, but let me actually show you guys a project that I did buy, but it actually didn't move at all. I did have a thesis. It didn't work. Most of my theses do work in my actual group chat. For example, I posted about some, alpha in my private group where I actually spoke about, meme coins, and I spoke about how, there's potential alpha for this token right here and how it was at 600K market cap. And that one actually managed to run all the way up to, a 2 mil market cap, and actually ran up to a 9 mil market cap. And I was like, hope some of you guys managed to get this one. I said, hope some of you guys managed to get this one. And you can see Matt P right here said, we did. Amazing. Thank you. And many members did actually profit from this. Of course, I'm going to shamelessly plug my community, but it definitely is a very comprehensive place that you guys can get real-time alerts when there are certain things going on that are going to do well. Basically, I'm just going to use this coin for an illustration. Ideally, you want to have alerts on coins that, are quite dead. And that way you can actually see if you manage to buy an old coin or an old project because you have a thesis about a certain project that you think is going to eventually rise again, what you can do is you can set an alert here, and this will basically alert you to see if this token ever manages to rise again. So you can say, you can set this at around an $80,000 market cap, and basically, if the price ever goes above that area, you can basically be like, okay, if that does happen, I know that this project is pumping again, and then that's going to be something that alerts me that, okay, I can be one of the early ones here because people are starting to think about this coin again, and my position is probably pumping. Now, of course, like I said before, of course, you do want to have a watch list. So if you just hit this right here, you can just add this to your main watch list. And then, of course, let's just add some other coins. Let's just add Trump fam. Let me just go ahead and add this so we can just add that to our watch list right here. And so now in the bottom left-hand side, you can actually see that our watch list is right here. So if you want quick access between different coins, we can simply just click them right down there. If we favorited them, that way we don't need to keep typing in, and we can actually get access to these tokens every single time. So of course this coin is literally a scam. I think, is this a scam? Is this the official one? Honestly, I don't even know. But the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is that this is a comprehensive website. Like I said before, most people currently aren't truly taking advantage of. Also, what you can do, if you click the left right here, this is where you can just see your watch list quickly, and then you can get a comprehensive overview of where your entire, watch list is and how exactly that's working. So that is going to be something that is remarkably useful for you. So I would say that this probably has been, one of the best Dexscreener tutorials. Hopefully I covered absolutely everything. I do think the one thing that I did leave that you probably could do as well is that, I don't think the average beginner knows how to do this, but I'm going to just demonstrate for, simple purposes. And this is going to be the very basic simple purpose. And this is, only sometimes useful. It's not always useful, but it is sometimes useful. So what I will personally do is that, for example, right here, what you can do is you can use the inbuilt trading view. And essentially what you can do is you can grab the price range. So if you want to know how much something has increased in percentage wise, you can actually grab this price range tool right here. And then basically you click from the bottom all the way to the top right here. And it'll actually tell you exactly how much that has increased in price. So for example, if you would have bought right here, you would have made 168% on that said purchase. And this is useful for figuring out how much things have gone down as well. So if you want to see from here to here, okay, price has gone down 40%. So you can now be like, okay, I'm down 40%. Of course, it will show you in your portfolio, but you can actually see, okay, if the token pulls back, maybe 50% or 40%, I'm always going to buy those dips, or whatever kind of strategy it is that you might be using. So this is also something I do as well. So I get this right here. I go to trend line, and basically there are two kind of trends that you do want to have. You want to have the top for the trend line, and you want to have the bottom. And what I mean by that is that you basically, in fact, you don't want to use that one. You actually want to use a horizontal ray. And basically with this one, ideally you don't want to be on the 1 minute chart. You ideally want to be on the 5 minute chart because it's a lot better, but it isn't always best. But basically what you'll do is you will, and I don't think it will work that well for this project, but you will essentially mark the lows and the highs. For example, we can see the price went down to this level right here. So we will mark that level, and it pops up right here in blue as the 1.8 mil mark. And this could be a potential buy zone for us. Also right here, we would put the recent high right there. And now we have a range where we think price is going to bounce and to go. And I'll show you guys that this actually does work on, a variety of different products. So let me check crude. This one is already at 31. This one's at, I'm actually just looking for something that is at not a crazy amount. Maybe this one has some decent buying support. But if we go on the market cap right here, you can see that, for example, let's say we were doing that and we got the horizontal ray, and then we put the horizontal ray right at here where the price was here. We know that when price went up, it actually has come back down to that 74 mil market cap area and has now moved forward. So this can be useful for you if you're trading because it allows you to see where the lows are. For example, once again, we can use a horizontal ray, put it at the lows right here. But what you can also do is if you want to be a bit more specific, you can use the trend line, and this is where you'll do diagonally. So for example, right here, I can immediately see that diagonally support is at this level, and basically what you'll use this for is that you'll use to see if price action fails support. So we can see that every time price comes down here, it's bouncing, it's bouncing, it's bouncing, it's bouncing. And sometimes when price action loses support, it means that there aren't enough buyers to continue with the purchase. And that basically means that price action is probably going to go down. Now, this doesn't always happen. Sometimes buyers can come in because it's meme coins. It's, driven by individuals rather than, a comprehensive institution like, the majority of markets are. But I would say that this is very useful if you want to find out when people are going to sell, because if there aren't enough buyers, usually the project will go down. It doesn't always happen, but it can provide a useful insight for how you actually chart these meme coins. So, like for example, here we can see that the diagonal right here, price action, it came up to this level, people sold, went up to this level again, people sold. So it can be a useful tool for showing you guys when you do want to sell. So for example, once again, right here, like I said, if someone, most of these guys with big wallets are actually doing this. So this is going to be something that can help you out as a beginner. Just mark the top on the 5 or 5 minute. And when price action comes back to that level, usually on a larger time frame, that is where the majority of people are going to be selling off. Now, if there are more buyers than sellers, price action just continues to move forward and it will go higher and higher. But if you understand those basics, it's going to give you a larger advantage when you're actually looking at these meme coins. And you have to understand, these are all of the things that I personally do naturally when looking at Dexscreener. So this is going to be something that actually helps me out a ton. And this just makes me, a 10 times better analyst when it comes to analyzing these meme coins and, various different projects. So that basically covers everything you need to know about Dexscreener. I know some people are going to say, you buy and you sell and you can connect your wallet. I personally just don't think this is a great website to buy meme coins from. There are just a variety of other dedicated websites like GMGN. You've got Bullx, NeoBullx, you've got Photon. Those websites are actually where you want to buy it from. Me personally, I've had a horrible experience buying through this, but it is completely up to you. I just wouldn't advise buying through this website because it just doesn't work that well. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this tutorial, do not forget to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, if you want access to my private community, do not forget to check the link out in the description, where I actually share different plays, different alpha plays in a private group with over 200 members who are doing